but Harry and Meghan have actually also been scrutinised by the public for holding hands at yesterday's procession. Did it break protocol? Did it not? You may be shocked to know that apparently there isn't any specific protocol about hand-holding at an event such as this, but some people wondering whether or not it was the right thing to do. There's also been reports, so I don't know why I'm surprised by anything anymore when it comes from the United States, especially of a magazine, supposedly Meghan's newly favourite magazine, The Cut, or whatever it is, essentially criticising King Charles. But according to an expert, they were saying that basically Meghan and Harry are entitled to hold hands if they want. Joining me to discuss all of this is the host of the Politics People podcast. It's Paul Duddridge. Paul, thank you very much for joining us. So just talk to me a little bit about this. Public, quote-unquote, scrutiny or outrage or whatever, was it an attempt, do you think, by Harry and Meghan to try to steal the show once again?
I don't think so. Listen, I'm very much not in the Sussexes camp, but it does feel like a bit of a reach to complain about a married couple holding hands at the service for the late Majesty and the grandmother of the Prince. It does seem that the people are trying to find some reason to criticise them. It just seems really unfortunate that they're being targeted in such a way. And like I said, I won't even call him Harry. I call him Henry, because Harry's an affectionate nickname. So I've got no truck with them at all. But that does seem a little bit like a spiteful attempt to mean girl the whole situation.
OK, all right. And just in terms of the reaction stateside, because we've seen things like the New York Times trashing our royal family, and I would argue this country, in my opinion anyway. Also seen apparently in the magazine The Cut. I mean, why are Americans just queuing up to tarnish our royal family? Maybe some people in this country have got it wrong. Maybe, actually, everyone in America is Team Meghan.
No, not everybody in America is Team Meghan, and the New York Times, if it's any comfort, spends most of its time trashing the United States as well.
Oh, good. So that's nice.
Yes, the New York Times has gone. I mean, when I was growing up, the New York Times was the newspaper of record for the United States and would be treated as a venerable institution. It has sold its soul to the wokery. So anything you're reading in the UK about headlines from the New York Times, you might as well treat as, Elvis on being found on the moon kind of thing. It really has lost all credibility amongst the mainstream reader, if you like. It's definitely nailed its colour to the woke mast. So a lot of that stuff is clickbait, shall we say. It's gone down that avenue. So that's not the concern. What is the concern, though? What you can disregard all that sort of people making a name for themselves, trying to jump on this unfortunate royal bandwagon. What they are picking up on, and just before I joined you, I was just picking up a news feed coming in, and the Americans have honestly picked up. The news is going a lot with the pen incident, the first pen incident, and then Northern Ireland. Charles's reactions in public. The Americans are used to 70 years of serenity, basically. They're used to unflappability from a monarch. And some of them really, supporters of the UK and the royal family are kind of shocked at the seeming petulance. I think there's a lot of latitude because obviously this is a grieving period, but Americans are very service orientated. Like many people work as waiters and waitresses to pay their way through college. It's part of the American psyche and the culture. So to see somebody in a great position of power treating a member of staff so disrespectfully has really resonated here. And that's the thing, that the woke stuff isn't breaking through. That kind of manners and petulance is breaking through. There's a Muhammad Ali quote doing the rounds at the moment, a very popular meme that's sort of going around the States. It's probably arrived there as well. It's Muhammad Ali said something along the lines of, I always check how my company treats the waiter, because if I was in a different position, that's how they'd be treating me. And I think that's the kind of the fallout from that sort of behaviour for Charles in the United States.
Yeah, I just want to get your take on the protocol in terms of whether or not them, as is Harry and Meghan we're talking about now, holding hands at this procession was actually legit. I mean, they are supposed to adhere to protocol. Everybody has the pomp and ceremony of it all. Have they, I suppose, to put it in layman's terms, broken any rules?
Well, my understanding is no, they haven't actually broken an official rule. I mean, there might be different rules for working members of the royal family, but actually there is no set protocol for whether or not couples, royal or otherwise. I mean, I've been looking at this before I came and talked to you. There is no set protocol that they can't hold hands. Now, a lot of this stuff is just based on tradition and previous behaviour and what we perceive as protocol, but it's actually they've not contravened. If they've contravened the law, it's an unwritten one.
OK, just very quickly, there are some reports coming out about the fact that King Charles may be cutting back on some of his staff, and there are also reports that this is a similar thing to which he did just shortly before Princess Diana's funeral as well. Any reports coming out of that for you? Do you think this is fair enough or not? It's just the changing of the times to reflect his new role.
It's not landing in the States. There's a very fluid employment economy in the States, and so that kind of story hasn't really broken through. No, it would be like, well, the guy's moving. I'm sure that they'll find, employment elsewhere in that massive institution. So no, that's not breaking any kind of or getting any attention over here as an important issue at all. It's the behaviour of the new monarch is the main story, and it's been treated with kindness and fondness still, but I think that he hasn't got too many of those public episodes to fall back on.